So this one is just a little over 100. Yeah.
Here is where it all begins. This video is your roadmap to success if you're planning on raising day-old broilers. I'm about to show you at least 5 things that you must not fail to do if you think you want to be successful at raising day-old broilers. At least 5 things you should never fail to do. Alright, so we'll start with the first one, but you can see the birds, beautiful. This is actually Marshall breed of broiler. So we have 4 boxes of them, and in total we have about 205 or 207 chicks thereabout. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is to have a record. Yeah, trust me, if you don't have a record, you have failed already, because there's no way you're going to be able to even track or trace your success or failure. You won't be able to hedge it on anything. If you fail, you can't really say this is where I got it wrong. Without a record, it is impossible for you to compare your result with that of other farmers, or even something you've gotten before or that you will get later. And unless, of course, maybe you are not going to do broiler farming again in your life, then you may not need a record. But if you are going to do it again, then a record will be a good pointer for you to know whether you are succeeding and to know where you need to improve. The next thing you must deliberately work on if you want to succeed is temperature. You see, if the success of the hatching process depends largely on strict adherence to the required temperature and humidity in the hatcher, in the incubator, or underneath of the local hens that is hatching the chicks, if the temperature is very critical to the development of the embryo, how then do you think that it's not important to the chicks in their first few days of life? You see, when they are young, they cannot thermoregulate. They can't really maintain their body temperature. They can't adjust to whatever weather you subject them to. You only want the temperature that is good enough for their body, for their system. And if you are not able to provide that, then you have failed already. That is why I use a smart thermohygrometer that tells you the temperature and the humidity from a distance. You can connect this device to your phone, and once you are close to where the chicks are, it just tells you on your phone what the temperature and what the humidity is. A plus to that is you can set a limit for it. You can set the upper limit and the lower limit for both temperature and humidity, and it alerts you on your phone once that limit is exceeded, whether the higher limit or the lower limit. But then you may ask, what's the required temperature for the chicks? When they arrive, anything from 34 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius will be fine. Even if it gets to 35.5 on the first day, it's okay. But gradually after that first day, you need to start reducing it by about 1 degrees on a daily basis. So on day 2, you should be having from 33 to 34. On day 3, you can have them on 32 degrees. On day 4, it can be 31. By day 5, day 6, this guy should be having nothing more than 30 degrees. Yes, that's what their body needs. I understand that in some cases, the outside temperature will be uncontrollable. And that's why even in brooding, sometimes you have to lift the curtains from the second day. Yeah, from the second day, sometimes the temperature of the house rises to around 37, 38 degrees, and that's just too much for your broilers. So in this case, I had to even install a fan to regulate the temperature, and I also started lifting up the curtains from the second day. So I'm just going to walk you through the journey from about the day 1 to about day 6 here in this video, and I'll be telling you what the weight is. So I have a rock solid tip about the weight of your broilers from the first day to the first week, how you can make the best use of it. But before then, let's talk about something else. And that next point is that you need to observe your chicks for at least 30 minutes to 1 hour after arrival. Alright, so depending on the number of broilers you are stocking, you may have to stay there and check their level of activity. Check which one is not drinking the water you have given to them. Like in this case, I had like about 2-3 of them that I had to assist to drink water inside the cover of the drinker that I started with. So it's important that you check and help them, give them a chance to survive, because these chicks must have been dehydrating and they are super tired, and if you don't assist them, they may just be looking like a moron until they dehydrate and they die. So you want to help them, just put them close to the water, dip their beak inside the water, let them have a taste of the water. You see, most of them will just start drinking on their own after that. And that water should not just be ordinary water, of course. It has to be fortified with either multivitamins or glucose and anti-stress, something to help them boost their energy level. Now let's talk about weight. You see, if you fail to take the weight of your broilers at dayhood, that is when they arrive your farm, then you have just planted massive migraine in your head. Why? Because you will not be able to say, okay, this is what they were weighing on day one, and on day 7 I'm getting this weight, and you'll not be able to do the mathematics and say, okay, this is what I've got. And we have a golden rule that says at least on day 7 your broilers should weigh times 4 of what they were weighing when they arrived your farm, before they ate anything on your farm. When they got there and you took the weight, by the time they are 7 days old, they should be weighing at least times 4 of that weight. For example, these ones, the average weight, I sampled a couple of them. You don't have to measure the weight of all of them. Just sample some of them, a representative sample. For these ones, they were at 200 and something. I took the weight of about, is it 13 or thereabout? I can't remember. So I took the weight of some of them and I found the average, and the average gave me about 39.5 grams. So let's just say 40 grams on the average. So at day 7, I expect them to weigh minimum of 160 grams. And trust me, at the time I'm making this video, it's actually around day 6, and we already have some of them that are weighing 190, 180, 170, 160, like that. So definitely at day 7 we will have them crossing 200, and maybe some of them still 180 thereabout. So that's times 4, they are definitely going to cross it. And number five, you must be proactive when it comes to disease treatment. That is, it is better to prevent than to treat. It's easier for them to adjust when you have already given them what they need to prepare themselves for those diseases. We need to understand that our environment is not sterile. We don't have a sterile environment. So definitely there are some bacteria, fungi, things that are around you. Even though you have fumigated the house, you have disinfected the place. Additionally, when you raise the curtain, the wind will blow and it brings some foreign agents. Occasionally, because of the feedback and other things, you bring in foreign agents, and this can be bacteria that will harm your chicks. So it's good that in the first few days you give them some antibiotics that will take care of whatever might be in their system. It could also be that they brought in those things from the hatchery, so you give them some antibiotics that will wash or that will flush out any foreign agent in their system.
Coco, where go and carry chicken? Make sure they don't run. Use your 2 hands now. See this girl. Okay, let me help you. See? So you can see the feather is changing. We are having growth. Let me just do the weight checking for this one. This is the beginning of day 5, so we'll say day. Okay. Alright, 0. Okay. Let's check. Okay, this one even says 1. This one says 1. This my daughter picked a big one. No, 0 it. Okay. This one says 135. I think the scale is not on a level ground. Yeah, 134, 135. Yeah. So that's what we have at and this is, what's the time now? Let me check the time on Saturday morning. This is 9:59. Yeah, this is 9:59. Alright, so I know we have some that are smaller than this. Let me just see if I can show you that. Okay, this guy is small. Don't squeeze. Okay, put it there. Alright, so you can see, just like I said, some of them are around 100. So this one is just a little over 100. Yeah. As a matter of fact, struggling to give us 100. Yeah, you can see. Let's say 100 here. So I purposely chose this one because it's small, and you can see the flock. Generally, this is what they look like. I tell you, if it was Ross, we'll be having a bigger weight now.
Yeah, so I have a couple of other videos that will help educate you and ensure that you are successful in poultry farming. And one way you can get hold of them is by clicking that subscribe button so that you become part of this family. So I am DIY Agric, your #1 animal scientist and your poultry success partner. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.